Hello and welcome to Darwin, Northern Territory, Australia. Today I'm going to fly on Qantas flight QF2 from Darwin to Sydney. What's so special about this flight is that despite being a domestic flight, QF2 departs and arrives from an international terminal. Why is that? We can find out in this video. Let's go! Darwin is the smallest capital city in Australia, located at the top end of the country. The city experiences a tropical savanna climate with a wet and dry season. In July 2021, I flew on QantasLink E190 business class from Darwin to Adelaide. July is the city's driest month. Being sunny and warm, it's a popular holiday destination for people from the southern states. Now it's January, the wettest month in Darwin. The city has become so much quieter, but accommodations have also become a lot cheaper. Therefore, it's still a good time to visit Darwin. I'm at the city's waterfront precinct. It's just within a few minutes walk from the CBD. The place features a number of restaurants, bars, a man-made beach and a wave pool for the local community and tourists. Of course, the pool and the beach are stinger and crocodile free. Darwin Airport is located approximately 12 kilometers or a 15-minute drive from the city. The nearest bus stop is a 7-minute walk from the terminal, but takes around 1 hour to get to the city by bus, including one transfer at Casuarina. Therefore, the easiest way to get to the city is by Uber or taxi. Darwin Airport is the busiest airport serving the Northern Territory. In 2019, the airport offered direct flights to most major cities across Australia, as well as many destinations in Southeast Asia. Due to COVID-19, many airlines ceased their international commercial operations out of Darwin. But also because of COVID, Darwin has once again become a stopping point of the kangaroo route. As a major operator in Darwin, Qantas's check-in counters can be easily spotted. Both international and domestic departures use the same counters. There's a priority check-in lane for business class passengers and eligible frequent flyers. The kangaroo route refers to air routes flowing between Australia and the United Kingdom. The route found its name following kangaroos' means of locomotion, hopping, as the flight hopped its way across to London in its early years. Qantas first flew the kangaroo route on the 1st of December 1947 using a Lockheed Constellation with stops in Darwin, Singapore, Calcutta, Karachi, Cairo and Tripoli. From March 2018 to early 2020, Qantas used its flagship aircraft A380 between Sydney and London with only one stopover in Singapore. However, due to COVID and international border restrictions, the service was halted for nearly 2 years. When all Australian states and territories except Western Australia scrapped hotel quarantine in December 2021, Qantas chose Darwin over Perth as a temporary stopover point for its Sydney to London and Melbourne to London flights. Qantas requires all passengers and crews to be fully vaccinated to travel on its international flights. As I'm technically traveling on an international flight, the staff at check-in also checked my vaccine certificate. All passengers have to go through security screening before heading to the boarding gates upstairs. The departures lounge on the first floor is split in half. The international gates are on the right-hand side of the escalators and the domestic gates are on the left. The two areas are only divided by a screen door, which means the international gates can also be used for domestic departures if needed. The shopping and dining precincts on the domestic side include a souvenir shop, a technology store, a cafe, a fast food outlet and a bar. There is plenty of seating space throughout the terminal. Qantas currently has 2 lounges at this airport. The Qantas Club is for passengers travelling on both domestic and international flights, and the temporary International Transit Lounge is now used for international passengers transiting through Darwin. If you are joining the kangaroo route from Darwin, then you'll have the privilege of using both lounges. Virgin Australia used to have a lounge here as well. Unfortunately, it was permanently closed in 2020. Yeah, all good. Oh, thank you. Thanks. Welcome to my favorite Qantas Club lounge in Australia. The first reason for me to like this lounge is its size. It is huge. Unlike Sydney and Melbourne lounges, which can get really crowded on weekdays, Darwin Lounge is usually pretty quiet and relaxing. It has meeting rooms, kids' room, and different types of chairs and tables to suit everyone's needs. If you are an Av geek, then you have to walk all the way to the rear of the lounge and take these seats next to the window, which offer a great view of the Air North Apron and half of the runway. Darwin Airport is a military airport. If you were lucky, you could see F-35 jets taking off from the runway. They are really loud, yet very fascinating to watch. The other reason for me to love this lounge is the food. In my opinion, it always offers the best meal options than any other Qantas Club lounges. The buffet is fully self-service. For lunch, there's usually a salad, sandwiches, soup, a meat dish, and a variety of desserts. Darwin is closer to Jakarta and Manila than to Canberra. Due to its proximate location to Southeast Asia, I figured the lounge here love cooking Asian dishes that we don't normally find elsewhere. For drink, there's juice, different soft drinks, barista coffee and tea. Alcoholic beverages are available after 12 noon. Voila, let's see how good the food is today. I would have sat near the window, but I need to charge my cameras, therefore I picked a seat at the bar table. One thing about self-service is that presentation-wise, I don't do such a good job as the Qantas staff would do. The spoon for the soup pot is way too big. Half a scoop and my tiny bowl was already full. The main dish today is lentil and goat curry with rice. The goat is a little bit chewy, but it is rich, flavoursome and yummy. Goat has a similar flavour to lamb, but it is not as lean, making the dish a bit richer. With rice, it's very filling. Samosa with sweet chili sauce actually matches well with the goat. Compared to some other Qantas Club lounges which serve roasted potatoes with sour cream and cheese for lunch, goat curry and samosa is so much better. Once again, sorry about the presentation here. Tom yum is a traditional hot and sour Thai soup. In Thailand, the word tom refers to the boiling process and yum means mixed. The soup is not as spicy as the tom yum that one of my Thai friends cooked at home. This is definitely for suiting those who can't handle hot stuff very well. Even though normally there should have prawns in the soup, I still love the chicken pieces and the tofu in there. The shower facility is available for all guests to use. Fresh towels and toiletries can be obtained from the lounge staff. There's also one accessible toilet and shower for those in need. January is the wettest month for Darwin. The average rainfall is 426mm with an average of 21 rainy days. In comparison, July's average rainfall is 1mm and 1 rainy day. The wet weather could certainly cause flight delays. My QF2 flight from London had to hold a few patterns to wait for the storm to pass. Here it comes! After being in the air for more than 16.5 hours, flying over Siberia, China, the Philippines and Indonesia, the Dreamliner has returned to Australian soil once again. It must have been a very long trip, especially for economy class passengers. Qantas Boeing 787 has a total of 236 seats, 42 business, 28 premium economy in a 232 configuration and 166 economy in 333 configuration. By the way, have I told you that I'm flying business class today? 30 hours ago, I decided to bid $300 for a business class seat. I've never flown on long-haul Qantas business class before, so I thought today could be the perfect day to do it. My bid was successful and my seat was confirmed 4 hours ago.
That's Qantas link flight 1953 service at Lagos, ready for departure, reporting through gate number 5. Thank you.
It's time to head through immigration. For security reasons, I'm not allowed to film this area. For domestic passengers departing from an international terminal, a passport is not required for Australian citizens. You can use an Australian driver's license or even an Australian university ID card as photo identification. At check-in, you should have received a boarding pass with an orange D sticker which shows the immigration officer that you are a domestic passenger. After confirming my identity, the immigration officer put an exit stamp on my boarding pass as proof that I left from Darwin. When landing in Sydney, the boarding pass will be an important proof that I only travelled domestically. Globally, non-aeronautical revenue contributes to 40% of a commercial airport's total revenue. Duty-free shops definitely play a big part. To get to the boarding gate, the airport deliberately makes everyone to walk through the entire duty-free precinct to make people spend money. As a domestic passenger, however, I was told by the staff that I'm not allowed to purchase any duty-free item. Welcome to the international side of Darwin Airport. As the stopover here is only an hour long, all passengers flying from London to Sydney will go through immigration in Sydney. Therefore, the Qantas Club on the domestic side is not available for eligible passengers on this flight. To enhance the overall experience of this stopover, Qantas temporarily took over the airport's Catalina Lounge and renamed it Darwin International Transit Lounge. Hello. Very well. Thank you. Thank you. The lounge has a warm and cozy atmosphere with a bar and buffet station. All 42 business class seats were fully booked on this flight, plus all the eligible frequent flyers. It was actually a bit hard to find a seat at this lounge. Every single table was occupied in the end. Food at this lounge was prepared and sent over from the Qantas Club. However, as passengers generally only stay here for a short amount of time, the food here is mostly light, such as yogurt, fruit salad, sliders and muffins. Hot food options are Angus beef pies and the tom yum soup. My favourite Qantas dessert is the dark chocolate brownie. I always try to have one whenever I see them. Same as all the domestic flights, a complimentary flywheel pack with a mask and 2 sanitizing wipes are available for everyone. For passengers that aren't eligible for lounge access, there's plenty of seating space around the boarding gate. In addition to the duty-free shop, there's a small cafe to purchase light snacks and beverages.
Hello everyone, Business Class QF2 would now to business class, premium, platinum 1, gold 1, emerald, sapphire and connect customers. Push aboard now.
Qantas Boeing 787 business class flying on an international flight as a domestic passenger. How exciting! Let's get on board. The Qantas Dreamliner has a total of 42 business class seats in a fabulous 1-to-1 configuration. Row 1 to row 8 is located at the front of the cabin, and there are another 3 rows behind the galley. All seats have direct aisle access and can be reclined to a fully flat bed. In terms of the window seats, odd-numbered window seats are closer to the window and are more private than even-numbered window seats, which are closer to the aisle. My bid for an upgrade was only confirmed this morning. 4A was the only window seat I could get. It's an even-numbered seat, but at least it's still a window. Even though this is only a 4-hour flight, each seat still comes with a printed menu, a pillow, a doona and a mattress topper. There's plenty of storage space in business class. Each seat has a whole overhead compartment to itself.
Still water, sparkling water or champagne?
Champagne, please.
Thank you.
From my experience in July, Qantas no longer offers pre-departure drinks in domestic business class. As this is an international flight, I was greeted with a choice of champagne, still, or sparkling water before departure. Cheers! The seat had a pitch of 46 inches and a width between 23 and 24 inches. I definitely can comfortably fully stretch my legs. There's a storage space next to my seat for small items. The tray table is large and stable. There's a panel for seat controls, a USB plug and a universal power point. Interestingly, unlike the economy seats, the headrest in business is not adjustable. Each window seat has control over 2 dimmable windows. Overhead, there are 2 air vents and 2 reading lights.
Thank you for your loyalty.
Thank you for your support.
And thank you for your attention. Have a great flight.
The Boeing 787's takeoff feels so much smoother than aircraft such as the Boeing 737. This is because the wings of the Boeing 787 are made out of carbon fiber material, which is more flexible and helps dampen the turbulence. After takeoff, the cabin manager walked to each seat and personally greeted everyone by their last name, which instantly gave me a very warm feeling. The entertainment screen that Qantas installed in business class is a 16-inch high-definition touchscreen. Qantas doesn't offer Wi-Fi streaming on any of its international flights. Instead, it provides an entertainment system that stores more than 2,500 hours of movies, TV shows and documentaries. The system is updated at the beginning of each month. The latest James Bond movie was released in November 2021 in Australia, and Qantas has already got the movie in its January update. I'm really happy with the system. Qantas acknowledges the fact that people like to check the flight path during flight. Therefore, whether you are at home screen or watching a movie, if you touch the airplane icon at the bottom of the screen, it will take you directly to the moving map feature, which shows you the flight path, time to destination, speed, altitude and current time. The screen can also be controlled via a remote which is hidden away in the armrest. Now let's explore the control panel for different seating arrangements. There are 5 preset seatings. You can choose to put your seat upright for takeoff and landing, set your seat in recline position for takeoff and landing, recline with leg rest up, recline to a fully flat bed, or turn on the massage function. Ultimately, you can use the panel to adjust the seat to your own favorite position. The panel also controls the brightness of the reading light and allows you to turn on the Do Not Disturb sign for the crew to know. If this is your first time sitting in this seat, there's a 2-minute video in the entertainment system showing you all the features. The headphones offered in business provide adequate sound quality and noise cancelling. They are not top-notch, but they do the job. It's finally mealtime. To me, the most exciting part of flying business class is food. The Qantas International Business menus offer a contemporary selection of locally sourced seasonal dishes with a focus on choice. On long-haul flights, the menu provides the option of lighter-style dishes through to a full dining experience at any time. 4 hours is considered short for international flight, therefore Qantas offers a simple 2-course lunch for flights from Darwin to the East Coast. Depending on what you feel like, for main there are light options such as soup, pasty and salad, and a more filling option of tomato-baked chicken with risotto. At the back of the menu is an excellent selection of wine from boutique producers to iconic brands from across Australia, New Zealand and France. The crews are trained in all aspects of the wine service. They should be able to answer any question you may have. Each main dish also comes with a selection of bread and some green leaf salad.
There we go. Tomato-based risotto with the, I'll just move this for you, with the broccoli and the risotto. I'll just put that there for you, is that alright? That's fine. Alright, thank you. Enjoy.
This is my first time flying Qantas International Business, so I have to try the chicken. My first impression is that the dish looks very colourful. Green, red and white. I do love the presentation, and I do think the meal quality is a step up from its domestic business service. Let's dig in. Compared to grilled chicken, the tomato-baked chicken is a lot less greasy, which makes the dish very healthy. The chicken was perfectly cooked, the breast was tender and easy to cut through. The generous amount of sauce on the chicken has kept the meat juicy. It has also made the whole dish flavoursome and colourful. Risotto is a form of shortcut pasta shaped like a large grain of rice. The sauce mixed quite well with the risotto as well. Overall, I think Qantas has executed this dish perfectly. I really love it. All of the crews on board were professional, yet also very personal and easy to approach. They walk through the cabin every few minutes to make sure that everyone is happy. After finishing my chicken, my plate was cleared quickly and I was asked if I would like to try another main dish.
Would you like to taste any of the other, like the tomato soup or...
Yeah, can I try the soup?
Yeah.
Thank you.
We take that for you. I'll get one of those for you. Excuse me, sorry. There you go. Would you like any more pepper or salt or anything?
No, it's all good.
Sure, all good?
Yeah.
The roast capsicum soup is the lightest main dish on the menu. I'm a big fan of the soup at Qantas lounges. They always have lots of flavours in them. Accompanying the soup is a small piece of grilled baguette and olive tapenade. The whole dish is vegan. The soup had a spicy aftertaste. I guess the intention is to keep people awake for the arrival into Sydney after a long 24-hour flight from London. The green salad tastes fresh and natural, certainly a very refreshing side dish. Overall, both the chicken and the soup were incredibly delicious. I feel like each ingredient in each dish had its own purpose. I cannot wait to fly Qantas long-haul business again to try out more meals on board. When sitting at the window seat that's closer to the aisle, you need to have a very long neck to see the scenery down below. For dessert, I chose the cheese plate. I'm once again very impressed with the crew's attention to detail.
There we go. Okay, thank you.
The two kinds of cheese that they serve on board are brie and cheddar. Brie is a dessert cheese with a runny texture and earthy flavour, and cheddar is a hard cheese that has a slightly crumbly texture with a sharp, full and fine taste. If you would like to have more biscuits, more cheese or anything else, just simply let the crew know. They always do their best to accommodate you. As expected, there's no amenity kit, nor Qantas business class pyjamas offered on flight from Darwin to Sydney. However, the crew was more than happy to make the bed for me.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
With the press of a button, each business seat can be transformed into a 2-meter long, fully flat bed. Due to the staggered seating, the footrest is a bit narrow, but I still find it to be sufficient enough to move my feet while lying down. The bed is also wide enough to turn my body when sleeping. The mattress is soft and the doona is very warm. If I were flying long haul, I'm sure I'd be able to fall asleep very easily. Between the two business class cabins, there is a small self-service snacking station. A similar snacking station can also be found at the rear of the economy class cabin. There are 3 lavatories for business class passengers, 1 at the front of the plane behind the cockpit door and 2 in front of row 10. All toilets are about the same size, the space is decent. The flush and the tap are sensor activated to avoid unnecessary contact with your hands. I have now figured out why a remote is still needed in business class. As the seat can be 2 meters long when fully reclined, the screen would be too far to reach when lying down, therefore the remote could make changing channels a lot easier. Lastly, the safety information card and in-flight magazine are stored at the seat back pouch next to the entertainment screen.
We'll be landing on runway 16 right, which is the southerly runway, so hopefully get some nice views of Sydney Harbour and the city skyline on approach.
If you don't declare truthfully, it may result in a penalty. Sore throat or are having difficulty breathing, please tell a crew member now. This will protect you, your family and other members of the community.
Time passes quickly when you're enjoying the flight. It's time to get ready for landing. To put the seat back to landing position, all you need to do is press the corresponding button. In my opinion, what makes Qantas stand out from all the other airlines are the crew and their friendly service. Just before arrival, the cabin manager walked over, personally thanked and said farewell to every passenger. From boarding till disembarking, the entire crew have kept a very relaxing atmosphere for everyone on board. The business class seat is private, every seat has direct aisle access and they all face the front of the plane. The bed is comfortable to sleep in and the meal on board was delicious and healthy. I absolutely loved every second of this flight. Qantas currently has 11 Boeing 787 Dreamliners in service, flying from Brisbane to San Francisco, Los Angeles and New York, Melbourne to London, San Francisco, Los Angeles and New York, Sydney to San Francisco, Dallas, Vancouver, Johannesburg, and in the future, Sydney to Santiago and Brisbane to Chicago. My QF2 flight was really full, which is why from June, the current Sydney-Darwin-London Dreamliner service would return to Sydney-Singapore-London using the flagship Airbus A380 aircraft. Domestically, you can constantly find the Boeing 787 flying on services between Sydney and Melbourne.
my pleasure on behalf of the entire crew to welcome you to Sydney. As I mentioned before, the quarantine authorities will meet the aircraft here, and we do ask you please to remain seated. From my experience last week, this can take approximately 10 minutes before the authorities allow us to disembark the aircraft. If you're arriving home into Sydney, or Australia I should say, this evening, of course, a very warm welcome home to you. Of course, any of you visiting, we do wish you a pleasant stay.
If you do not comply with public health orders, including quarantine and COVID-19 testing requirements, you may face penalties, including large fines or even imprisonment.
Welcome to Sydney. It's been 2 years since I last visited Terminal 1. As a domestic passenger, I'm not required to fill out the incoming passenger card. I don't need to show my vaccine certificate nor proof of a negative COVID result. And I'm not allowed to use the smart gate at immigration. The border officer checked my driver's license, then put an entry stamp on my boarding pass. At the biosecurity and quarantine station, unfortunately, the staff had to take my boarding pass away. After that, I was free to enter Sydney. So this is my unique experience on board one of Qantas's domestic international flights. On my way out of Terminal 1, my only thought was I couldn't wait to travel internationally again. Hint hint. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find it interesting, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more flight and train reviews. I'll see you all in my next video.